let's get started. Check, check, 1, 2. It looks like we're live on one end. Are we live on the other end? Yes, we are. Hello, comrades, and welcome to another episode of Under Construction. If I can fix my dang screen. There we go. It wouldn't let me grab the corner of the screen. Alright, let me grab the stream link and do what I need to do with that. You guys all know what's up. I'm going to throw this in announcements on the server as I do. And I'm going to get ready to toss it onto the Trainz official Discord. And while I give a minute for people to arrive, stream live now. Give a minute for people to arrive. We are going to not play Tetris, as we do. So, I hope everyone is having a lovely Thursday. I hope the flu slash cold slash coronavirus slash whatever is going around right now has not bitten you like it has bitten me, and it has bitten Gloria, and it has bitten many other friends of ours. It really, the flu season is doing its damnedest this year, it seems like. And I, for one, am not a fan, actually. So I wasn't the only one who got that random cold from nowhere. Well, no. But also, I can point very obviously to how Gloria got sick, and Gloria's friend group got sick. Like, we know who Patient Zero in that was, and then we all went to see a movie together. We went to see Wicked Part 2, or Wicked for Good, which was not for good, actually. I think it was like 2/3 a decent movie, and then 1/3 an absolute catastrophe of plot. So, you know, there's that. But no, yeah, you aren't the only one to get randomly sick. It feels like everyone is sick right now. It really does. I was tempted to postpone going up to Maine. I say this weekend, but really I'm driving up tomorrow evening with TJ and driving back the following day after the last train of the day so that I can get back here in time for an improv show that I bought tickets to before I decided to go to Maine. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like building houses over here. I'm building houses instead of making lines in Tetris. This is not ideal. Wicked not living up to the title. Yeah, and that statement goes even harder coming from a Rhode Islander. Yeah, it's Wicked not living up to the title. Wow, that was the most beautiful bottle flip of a... Oh my god. This is going to be it. We're going to have the shortest round of Not Tetris we've ever had. Actually, I think we've already surpassed the shortest round of Not Tetris we've ever had. But it sure feels like it. Really? You couldn't get in the spot? 300 foot... 4 lines? 4 lines? Alright, well, whatever. It means we get to get started. Let me send these links, in the places. Where is people are streaming? I'm in this other server, and they have a thread, or they have a channel, Friends Are Live, and I've never used it before, and I recently asked, hey, can I use this to, like, shamelessly self-promote? And the answer was yes, actually. So, I'm doing that. Which means there might be some new people looking in on this, which means I am worried that I'm going to disappoint. So, I definitely cannot do something boring to start with. I actually need to figure out what needs to get done, because there's so much that needs to get done. One of the things that needs to get done is I need to move all of this junk out of here. If we start working over here, all of this is in the way. So I'm going to jump into Surveyor 2. And I am going to, let's see, find adjustment tool, and then I'm just going to grab all this stuff. And I'll just have to scoot it out of the way, because once the town encroaches on these blocks, I can't just have random stuff hanging around. You. Some things it does not want me to click on, apparently. That, and then that, and then that, and then that, and then that, and that. that. Some of these things I don't even know when I'm going to use them. But, you know, I'm just going to scoot them out of the way and I'll figure it out later. I don't remember what the M was for. I already screwed up. I need to start writing out full words as notes to self, because writing the letter W or the letter P or whatever is not working out for me. Okay, so let's see. We need commercial strip over here. That's what this is going to be. This is going to be your classic, yeah, it's W for Wumbo. 100%. This is going to be your classic, like, modern commercial Strode kind of strip. I need to build this out because this is going to be our drive-in. And I don't know. I guess I just need to throw down row houses over here. I haven't really thought about how this would have cut off this existing neighborhood, but I think it might have just ended here, you know? And we might even throw down some stub streets on this side of the Strode to show that that neighborhood did once continue over there. Although, you know, maybe not, because you wouldn't really do this to an existing neighborhood. You'd do this with railroad track. You would not do it with highway. And I think I'm actually going to have this. Okay, so what I can do is I can think about, let's go back to regular surveyor for a minute. I can think about how this road is going to go, and how I'm going to have to smooth out the connection here between this and this main street, because this is, you know, one of the oldest streets. I think we said that this right here was like the very first intersection in this area. A weird benchmark, but when you're doing first principles shenanigans, that's, I guess, what you have to do. And then this road should continue out this way and eventually meet that, and we are probably just going to have a, hey, this thing is going to turn left and be roughly roughly parallel with this road here, and just sort of follow it along, because this would have been the road that leads out into the fields towards Douglas, or not Douglas, towards Randall. Randall, there's a cow outside. I recently watched that film. If we're talking about movies, I recently watched Barnyard. For the first time in maybe ever? I don't know. It may well have been the first time ever, because I do not remember having watched it previously. Like, I knew the memes, but I did not know the movie. And one day I was just sitting here, and I like hear a sound, and I go, like, I turn around, and Gloria has put Barnyard on the television, and I went, okay, I guess this is what we're doing. Oh shoot, is this supposed to be crooked? What was I thinking when I did this? We're doing road network here. This is slightly crooked. I think I watched Barnyard once and it's rattling around my brain like a ping pong ball. Yeah, that honestly tracks. That's what it feels like. Okay, so what I did was I put this road here and then I built a hill over it. And I need to fix that. If I put yeah, okay, I was going to say, there should be road under here. Let's do some archaeology. There should be a road under here, and if I do that, then I bring it back to the surface. Okay. And again, these are like our placeholder road splines. We will definitely be using different splines when we get to it. I need to flatten this area out a little bit, though, apparently, because this is no good. I talked about this being an industry that we sort of stick in the back here, Wilson and Company. But having an industry that comes off of, this is a commuter train yard. I'm not sure if that's wise. Although I could always put it, oh, that would be kind of chaotic and fun. Okay, imagine this, right? This lead continues, Pat, you didn't miss much. It was the shortest game of Not Tetris we've had in a while. This lead continues past here along the side of this road and hits maybe a couple of industries. Might be an interesting vibe, especially because this road is wedged between the, you know, the 4-track main line and that. I don't know if that's something we want to do. I'm just putting that out to the crowd. We'll see. But oh, I need a. Oh no. For all we know, the industry was there first. That's a good point. This all sort of sprang up at once, is the thing. This was all very much planned. So the weirdness, it might have been something they agreed to after the fact, though. Excuse me. You know, I mean, it's entirely possible that the industry was there first and it was sort of out on the extremities. Um, Hello, RBMN. Uh, I'm finally live. I went live at like exactly 7. I mean, I guess I did miss last week, but I was on time for once. Uh, the plan. Okay, so we've got a couple triangles to work on here, and maybe I should lay down this plan, right? Maybe I should set some goals. Um, Wait, why does it say that? I don't know. Why does it say that? Unless it's me, Casey. uh, is it? Tell me something only Casey would know. We need to work on this triangle here, I think, and maybe this here with the obnoxious row houses. Um, and then one of the things that I mentioned was I copied a chunk of town over here, and I wanted to see if I could sort of mix and match. I'm curious to see if I can copy paste my way out of this. Uh, Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Millions of people suffer every year. The Adirondack sucks. No, Casey, I'm sorry. I don't think you'd be the only person who knows that. But you've convinced me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I could extend this out here, and maybe do something with this. But yeah, I need to work on this triangle in here. I need to work on this triangle in here. Again, I'm calling it triangles. They're not triangle shaped. It's just the next area that we're going to work in. This one is pretty easy because I think I should just be able to throw down some lawn and call it good. Some of these buildings, they need lawn. They need whatchamahoo's it. They need driveways. Yeah. Okay. Let's do this. Let's do this, and then we'll worry about the next thing. Now we could have maybe a gravel parking lot in the back here. A Disney map for rolling line sounds, and that's actually kind of interesting. You would need a lot of custom assets though. Yeah, let's do a gravel parking lot in the back here, as we tend to do for the churches. And then, we'll do some grass all along here. And if I was detail-oriented today, I would actually put some shrubs and stuff. Maybe I will do that, but I've been talking about doing shrubs as like a separate pass along with the trees. And maybe I do want. Why not a cemetery? Why not a cemetery that's parking across the street? That's a good question. That's maybe a good point. I have been hesitant on doing little cemeteries here because we have the giant one, and that, that's another like pre-planned thing that probably would have occurred, relatively early on. Most old churches have cemeteries in the back. I agree. I don't think this is a particularly old church. At the oldest, this sprung up shortly after the stuff on this side of the river, and this side of the river is newer than that side of the river. So, was it like a Defunct Land thing? What documentary has a part that's 6 hours long, Pat? I could do a little cemetery somewhere, though. I could do a little cemetery, I just think I would have to tuck it a little bit more out of the way. This is sort of like an urban church. Uh, I feel like. Of course, it was defunct land. Um, okay, let's do this here. I mean, I love me some ridiculously long form content. Okay, also, this is a funeral home, right? Having the funeral home right next to the cemetery, maybe that makes too much sense. Maybe I have to do that, actually. No, no, I'm not taking the bait. I'm gonna put an asphalt lot down back here. Um, yeah, but then they lose all the money on processions. I don't know. They can't do that. They can't have the cemetery right next to the funeral home. How are they gonna nickel and dime all of your money away? Uh, okay. Alright, so we got that, we got this. I'm gonna put up like a tall fence, I think, between these two buildings. Uh, and then this side, this side is gonna be this, although I do need to put in some walkways, I think. Oh wait, no, this side should be concrete. Yeah, this side should be concrete. Let's see if I have a good concrete texture that I've used in the vicinity. I think the answer might be no, because there are not a lot of great concrete textures in the first place. There's this. Oh, there's this. This asphalt here. You pay for the transit to the church and then the procession to the cemetery. Uh, Actually, if we're doing transit to the church, I need to make a. I need to make. I should have put rails down in this parking lot. Made this an industry. What do they ship out? Don't ask. They ship in caskets. Um, okay, we need some fences. Let's take the featherboard fence. And then we'll do uh, this. London Necropolis Railway. Yeah, I guess there's a prototype for everything, right? Um, okay. Okay. Let's straight. Oh, son of a gun. Okay. Always the wrong way, never the right way. And these people are fancy. They put the nice side facing in towards the house. Some people, I feel like that is the thing that you try not to do because then people can climb over it more easily. But these people, no, they want the fancy side facing now. They want the smooth side. They want a clean-shaven fence. Okay. Little baby face fence. They need a baby face to remind them of their youth when their neighbors constantly remind them of their mortality. Okay. Yeah, that's we're gonna actually on this episode of Under Construction, we are going to psychoanalyze all of the people that we built houses for. Um I'm imagining a PCC hauling a converted flat car. No, the PCC is the hearse. Uh it it, it has the big door, the whole back of it opens up. Um that's how I want to get that's how I want to go actually. If you're putting me in the ground, there's only two ways that you're going to get me to my final place of rest. Number one is that. Number two is the Ghostbusters car. Uh, you know, I'm sure they'll make it work. And I said the Ghostbusters car because I don't assume everyone is cultured enough to know that Ecto One is the name of the car. Um, if you know Ghostbusters, you do, but I'm not going to assume. Okay. Although, if I'm noisy enough after death, then maybe they'll show up anyhow. Okay, we need a good tall fence. Control Shift F. Fence. Get a track across the parking lot, that'd be fun. Yeah, but for what? I've got plenty of parking lot tracks, like this one. Uh, at least, they have a purpose. Everything's got to have a purpose. Everything's got to be there for a reason. This, you know, I'm not, I've got a lot of parking lot tracks around here. Boxcar of hers. Yeah, it's a less than carload. Boxcar of coffins. Do you think they're flat pack? Can I get my, can I BYO, build your own coffin? It comes with the little IKEA manual, right? Like the IKEA manual that shows you how to put it together with no words, and one Allen wrench, and the dude on the box, right? Or the little person that points. You know what I mean? If you've ever seen an IKEA catalog, you know what I mean. Um, but he's a skeleton. Is the point that I'm getting at? Is the joke that I wanted to make? It's the IKEA guy, but he's a skeleton because it's you're building a coffin. That's that's funny. That's so funny. I made a joke laugh. Um, okay, so we got hedges here. We got that. We got this. We got. Speaking of hedges, can I throw down a couple of hedges? Oh, apparently I don't have hedges. I only have what? Bush? Okay, sure. That's so small? Okay, alright. Can I find a big one, please? No. A shrubbery? Oh, okay, there we go. But they're so big. Now, see, these are too... I need one that's just right. Can I get Goldilocks in here? God damn it. No! Alright, hold on. Um, okay, there we go. That's much better. Uh, sometimes I wonder about Trainz asset creators when they make assets that small. Well, I can't knock them. I can't knock them. They, if you're doing like proper detailing, they are fantastic. It's fantastic to have a bunch of little things. Uh, so I can't really. I'm not surprised, but I'm. This is all broad strokes. The reason this is all broad strokes, obviously, is because the map is ginormous, and if I did anything less than that, it would take me an extra 600 years beyond the 600 we're already going to spend. Um, you know, Olive is wonderfully detailed. If I were to do all of the detailing like that, we wouldn't have ever made it to like Mason Valley. We would not have made it to Pan Am, certainly. Um, and now I need to. What is this? Bush bean? Please tell me this is a plant. Or well, duh, it's a plant. It's a crop. It looks like. Okay, so these guys are taking the remains, turning them into fertilizer, and growing beans behind the funeral home. Yes, beans. Okay. Okay. Now what? We did that triangle. Can we move down the way here? I need to do houses though. I need to do residential areas, but I don't want to do residential areas. I want to do this. So, if we do city, my mouth is already getting dry. This sucks. Um, and my water is out of water. What are you? This is neat. This is a neat building. I could put this somewhere. We're just going to pile up some interesting stuff, I guess. Cityscape houses. Okay, yeah, these are all the individual ones that I think go into those chunks. Oh my god, we've got so many. They are so low poly. Wow. Okay. Seriously, it's like 5 polygons. I don't even know if that's an exaggeration. Look at this. Look at this, though. Whoa. Okay, well that might save us time sometime in the future. Um, okay. I also am definitely on my way to get sick again. Not not because of like any specific like I say this because is what I should be saying. I say this because I uh washed off like a plate or a dish or whatever or no, a baking sheet so I could cook something using a sponge as you do. And then I started eating things that came out of that round of baking without having washed my hands in between. And the kitchen sponges are awful and disgusting. And I probably gave myself so many diseases doing that. And the moment I tasted it, I was like, this tastes like sponge. I need to go wash my hands. So, you know, if I die, that's why. Um, yeah, Northern, you wonder about you wonder about assets that are too small. I wonder about assets that are too big sometimes. Um, yeah, a whole city block is pretty sweet, not gonna lie. But it's huge. Okay, these are like the same style of building. Um, I need to just put stuff along the streets here. Something that might be worth doing is, and I was, you know, I ended the road here, so this is probably going to end up being some sort of pedestrian space. Um, I was thinking of putting a setback for a lot of these things along this road, maybe, so that I have extra wide sidewalks along this road. I don't really know why I want to do that right here. Well, I guess because we're on the edge of the university campus. This area is going to be the university campus. Um, and this road can probably get cut back because it doesn't really go from anywhere to anywhere, and it creates this hellish intersection, which I would like to avoid if at all possible. Okay. And we've got another one. This building I've definitely used. Look around. Where is it? No? I feel like I have to have used it. We're gonna find it. Oh, no. We've used its doppelganger. Look at that. It's the same building with a slightly different texture. I bet that's 22. Oh, it's not. Never mind. I was wrong. Whoa, look at the staircase on this thing. Alright, yeah, that... Miss me with that. That's not a fun fire escape. I don't want to be on that. Hey, does anyone sort of wonder how, what's her name gets on the fire escape in Thomas and the Magic Railroad? The girl whose name is escaping me. Mara Williams? Is that the actress who played her? I don't remember what her name is in the movie though. Miss Thomas the Tank Engine. She like, you know, comes into the apartment via the fire escape or whatever. I think you're right. I think yeah, Lily sounds right to me. Does this mean I need to rewatch Thomas and the Magic Railroad? Please say no. But you know, I always, you know, it's like, how did you get on that fire escape from the outside? Honestly, if you put up Thomas and the Magic Railroad as a playdate suggestion, I am I'm scared to imagine how many votes it would probably get. I think the crazy thing is, I think this group of people would absolutely go for it for the meme. I'll see you next week. No! That doesn't mean find out. And I would need to figure out a way, because we need to do it the authentic way for me, which is I need to figure out how to hook up my VHS player to the computer. Is it available on like on YouTube for free now? Is that a thing? It was a thing, wasn't it? Ooh, Ooh, excuse me. Okay. Um. Hmm. How do we can watch the original cut? That's true. We could do that. I haven't done that. I would like to do that at some point, or the animatic. Uh, explain an idea. Restore the USSR. You mean Hearts of Iron? Also, Beatles intensifies. Okay. This I feel like I should actually face this away from the street because that's not a lot of polygons or things. Hey, the TJ channel. Uh, I'm like halfway through the animatic and it's so funny. Yeah, isn't it kind of a trip? I feel like I remember you mentioning it before. If you've been watching it for a little while, maybe I'm misremembering. I feel like you were watching it previously and you said it was like an acid trip. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else, but I don't know who else would be doing that. I don't know. Knowing our group of people, knowing the horsemen. Uh, Ryan is also being okay. Yeah, that tracks. Um, Union Station. Okay. Well, just say that's a theater and Alison Krauss is playing. I guess. I don't know. This is. It's not Union Station. Um. Okay, I need to bother you to Godspeed. Um. We'll have an ally. Yeah, an alley down this way. Have I been playing too much Minecraft? Um. Alley down this way. I need to sketch out these streets because if I don't, I'm gonna lose track of where the buildings need to go. Oh shoot. Okay, so I want a street this way, and I want a street. Do I want one this way? Because this reminds me of like the edge of Philly. Um, when you when right now it reminds me of the edge of Philly. Sort of when you hit when you're going south and you hit the end of the like built up area and it becomes like the approach to the stadiums, which is a very long walk, mind you. Um, but that's what it makes me think of. So we definitely need a road here. Again, I was thinking of doing this as pedestrian space, um, and then I need to fill in this block here. The problem is, what the heck fills up a giant block in a downtown like this? Should I go look? Because this is enormous. It's enormous. I'm going to go on maps and look. Let me see if I can find some downtown areas, like big blocks. Just scanning over Providence really quick. Nope. Nothing. Everything's tiny. All the blocks are tiny. Except for, like, the convention center. Do we put in a convention center? Mall. I mean, mall, convention center. Do I have a mall? Oh, whoops. How about airport hangars? Yeah, that makes sense. Um, what the heck? Strip mall? No, I need a regular mall. No, not bricks. Jesus. Um, let's just... Everything's small. City block small version. No. Bus shelter. Correctional small concrete tower. We're getting everything that's small. Sup, Train Street. We're looking for a mall. Nope, I just have all the small things. All the small things. We've got the giant strip mall sign. Hold on, I can put this over here. Where should I put the strip mall sign? Definitely over here, right? Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Wait, what happened with the roads here? Oh, great. Um, and then I need to paint some grass underneath this, because we don't want people parking there. What the heck was that? That's the mall texture, everyone. That's what that is. Um, strip malls didn't exist yet. That's too bad. We've got a lot of strip malls. Um, strip malls have been a foundational pillar of Tolbrand. Uh, but also, I really maybe they were in their infancy, but I struggle to believe that the concept of a parking lot flanked by stores had not been invented yet. Especially in the era of, like, booming suburbia. When was the strip mall invented? This is interesting. Uh, should make the town hall or whatever in one of the towns a strip mall. Yeah, I mean it would make sense, right? Um, did we go by? Well, because I went by. Yeah, no, there's nothing in here just called mall, which that's unfortunate. I'm expecting mall to then be the second word. Um, we need a not strip mall, regular mall. I'm gonna go and look on manage content. Actually, I'm gonna go find. I'm gonna go to download station. I'm gonna go to mall, and you're all gonna come with me, whether you like it or not. Um, we're getting every Malay. Filter installed. No. Hold on. I don't care about this. What I want is uh, category building. Okay. Okay. Uh, find me something that isn't mall. Oh, building mall. Oh boy. We downloaded some malls today. Um, N&W Malay is close to mall, right? Well, it might be large enough to put all the stores inside. Um, when were malls invented? Shopping mall. Uh, the term mall originally meant a pedestrian promenade with shops along it, but in the late 1960s, generic term for large enclosed space. You could also call them arcades, right? Uh, that was sort of the predate to mall. I mean, they have these. I've been in one of these in Naples, in Italy, and this is like the 19th century idea of a mall. Um, enclosed mall. Is there a section for a strip mall in here? No. When were strip malls invented? Strip mall. Um. Da, 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 classification. Power center. Guys, we're building a power center. Yo, the Park and Shop in Cleveland Park, Washington D.C. opened 1930, anchored by a Piggly Wiggly supermarket. Uh, okay, so a strip mall as a well, okay, I can't say a strip mall has lasted longer than a mall as in terms of concept if they were building them in the 1800s, but strip malls predate. The concept of a strip mall predates the concept of a mall, at least as far as it was known as a mall. Fantastic. Um, a mini mall, but also power center. Don't worry. I'm just gonna go over the. I'm just gonna go over to the power center. Uh, drop off Lafayette for his grooming and pick up some things from Home Depot. Did I actually download them all, or did I? No, I forgot to right click. I didn't right click download. I got distracted. At least we know. At least we know that malls are and strip malls are more strip malls more than malls are contemporaneous for Tolbrand. Um, I want to see if we can find a different one though. GER small water tower now. GWR small engine shed. Cute. Our stuff would not fit in it. Horse float. Oh, okay. What I was gonna say. What does that mean? Um, log stack. Modern Prefab warehouse. Material house small. Huh? Monorail. Moon. Model of moon. Remains faintly visible during the day, so you know where it is. Ah, that's what we need. We need a moon. Um, Piggly Wiggly is funny because they named an industry in the Appalachian Railway mod for Railroader Hoggly Woggly. And it's like, I know this is a reference to something, and then I learned of Piggly Wiggly. Because we don't have them here. Old small warehouse, parking lot. I don't see anything else that is mall. Small greenhouse. Okay. I'll download that. Why not? We got some small industrial buildings. I feel like we have plenty of those. The other thing that I should look up is... Oh, that was strip mall. Damn it. Wait. Storefront, small town. No. I'm seeing the word mall, but it is always contained within the word small. Okay, Okay, never mind. This is not what I was hoping for, because they don't call it that. Nobody calls it that. I want Waffle House in Rhode Island. I want Sheets in Rhode Island. That's what I want. What was the other name? Oh, I want, Convention Center. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, we're not gonna be able to. Oh my god. Alright, we don't need a convention center. Let's see about the malls. Let's see about those malls. Where are they? Building mall. Okay. Well, that's a good size. Tell me, no, Waffle House would go perfect on where the airport, where the Hooters on Airport Road is. You know what would go good where the Hooters on Airport Road is? Nothing. Because nothing should be there. That's within the space where if you crash a plane, the plane goes into that space. There shouldn't be buildings over there. That's, like, it's a problem. Hello, Mopac. Okay, the real question is, do I clip together a couple of malls to make a giant mall? Oh god, we've buried a building. You get somewhere else. I mean, malls in reality are low poly structures, right? Like malls in this are pretty low poly, but in reality they're also pretty low poly. They're like the blandest buildings you can think of, honest to God. Strip malls are often better. At least strip malls, you have to see it from a, you have to see it from the front. Malls, especially ones that are like in the middle of an area that sort of invite you to go around the whole thing because they are, they like are completely surrounded by parking lots on all sides. Oh god. Oh my god. All right, well that one's too big. They're like, oh yeah, come around the back. The back is like a liminal space. I was kind of curious what that was. I wasn't going to keep that there. Yeah, this is definitely a, we demolished a bunch of stuff and built a mall sort of situation. But I wanted this, I don't want to put a mall here, is the problem. I want to put more of these buildings in here. That's a problem because I don't have many of them. Okay. Maybe I should crack open the thing again and go look for city buildings that I don't have. Maybe if I stop looking for malls. Down JR industry buildings. Well, that's not really what I want. If I can find some industry buildings that will pass as like downtown city buildings. Oh, hello, giant parking garage. Yeah, this would go great with the mall. Actually, if I lowered this into the ground a little bit, maybe it would go great with the mall. Because right now it's too big. But if I were to say like, oh, it's a 2-story tall parking garage, then maybe that would be okay. Ignore the fact that there's no way in. Yeah, ignore the fact that there's no way in. If I attach this like this, and I'm still gonna grab all these things and move them somewhere else because I don't want to put them all here. But you know, mall. Um, let's Surveyor 2.0 and grab these things and push them somewhere else because we need to find downtown appropriate buildings. Robert Moses has been here. How can you tell? Uh, there's more to it than that, but you know, the unmentionables. I mean, the extremely mentionables, the racism of traffic engineering, which is something that, if I remember right, I wrote like a paper on it in college at some point. Something about it was sort of it was a tangential topic in another paper about maps. We've got a hospital elsewhere over there. I just need to find more city buildings. Which let me reopen this. And I need to I need to not be afraid to divvy this block up, right? Like my problem was, oh, I'm taking up too much. Like I'm leaving this huge empty block, but I just need to not be afraid to not leave a huge empty block, right? I need to actually carve the block up. Um, and yeah, okay. Let's just do it. Let's do it. Let's clear that. Let's grab this. Let's add a spline point there. Gosh darn it, I hate this. And ignore the fact that it's going to get all shoogly. Oh, man. Okay, and we'll have to fill in that area in a second. This actually needs to be straightened out. And then this, I need another spline point here. This here. This way. Actually, we're going to need 2 spline points so that we can have this straight intersection before the curve, or in between the 2 curves, rather, considering the curve that is going to be leading into the street here. Then we need a street that leads down this way. And that. Okay. And then this can go here. Alright. We don't need to make these intersections look pretty yet. We just need to kind of know where they are. We can do the fine-tuning later. And in fact, I can even leave this space open probably as part of like a pedestrian green space in this part of town because we don't have a lot. I mean, look at it. It's all parking lots over here, and you know there is some area in between buildings, but there's not that much of it. Honestly, this area kind of blows. Don't look at that area. Okay, so this road can go down this way. And then this road can go this way. Square this off just a little bit. Okay. And so that's what that's going to look like. That's going to divvy up those blocks. We're going to have a pedestrian area through here, which I can mark out using, let's see, some of the larger pavement slabs. Yep, like so. Hi, Lafayette. I don't know if you can see him. He just jumped up behind me. He just came in grumbling and jumped up behind me. Alright, so big pedestrian area. Oh, never mind. Somebody has arrived. Somebody is coming into my house. I was not told another person was going to show up. Sup, Sunset. I didn't realize that he was coming here. I thought Gianna was going to go get him. Okay, let's do that. Oh well, leave it to me to be confused. Okay. The parking garage is your #1 op. I feel that. Okay. And we will just continue this road here then. I guess. I mean, you know, I don't really know what else to do. This should make it, this should, you know, this should just work, TM. And then we will have enough room to put buildings in without you know, make it too much of a mess. If there's anything I've learned when building cityscape like this here in Trainz, it's that blocks are way bigger than you think. Or sorry, blocks are way smaller than you think they are. Opposite sentiment. Literally the thing I was not saying. Especially residential blocks. You know, you measure out a few hundred feet, and then you realize that is too many feet. That is too many legs. You know, like, I think the more that I've pared down my block size, the more realistic it's felt after I put the buildings in. Yeah, I'm not sure if I want to fix the skew on that pet area. Genuinely not sure. This is feeling like sort of a cowpath city, honestly. But I might go back and re-ruler that later. Alright, let's put this right there. And instead of doing the graceful curves on the edges, I think we'll just do this. Actually, I will add another spline point, and I will grab the single-sided macadam road. Yup. And which way is it going to be? Not that way, of course. Biggest block size I know of is Salt Lake City, and those are 660 by 660, and that is enormous. What do they put in those blocks? And I mean, even like New York City blocks, they're long, but they're thin. Okay. Let's bring this up to here. And honestly, it would be smarter if I was doing this in Surveyor 2, I think, but oh well. Sometimes we can do things the old-fashioned way. It's like in, oh, there we go. Yeah, if we straighten that, it'll look fine. Plot of land for each family for farming. Yeah, that makes sense. That actually makes a lot of sense. But what's in them now? That's my question. I get that I get that they wanted them to be for farms. Are there still farms in them? Well, you said originally, so I'm going to assume no. Okay, there we go. Got that in there. And then, yeah, this is slightly askew. It's not quite parallel to that building there. Let's see if we can straighten it out just a little bit. But it doesn't need to be perfectly straight, perfectly parallel with this other road here. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be, because these buildings are slightly askew with regard to that road. Everything's a little chaquad. It's fine. So let's see if I can find some other buildings now to fill in these areas. Oh wait, what was that with the diagonal road? I saw the word diag. Okay. Interesting. Way too modern. So are all of these, except for maybe this one, This one would be best if I cut it down to size. Yeah, I mean, what do you mean? This is not... Where's the diagonal road, though? Put this over here, maybe? This is not helping. I was hoping this was going to be a diagonal road kind of building. Okay, that's a really diagonal road building. This see, look at these two. This is how you diagonal road building on the right. Come on, get with the program. Something that I think I could do. Yeah, these buildings look not so great in this area. I mean, it could have been an area of relatively new growth, so there's no real reason why this would be a bad thing. But at the very least, I need to sort of extend these buildings over to the road on the left. It's funny how well that lines up. Of course, from the top, my screen turns entirely white and it's invisible. So that's not really a lot of help now, is it? And then we have this. If you know what, oh, why does it move so far when I grab it? Oh, and there's no edge on that building either. Okay, so I can merge these two buildings together and get one building without too much headache. In fact, I'm going to go into Surveyor 2 so I could merge them together just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. That is not a little bit. That's a lot of bit. And also, the axes on this building are ridiculous. To me, anyway. I mean, they're not actually ridiculous at all. I just don't like them. I want to move... Hold on. Can I move this instead? Why can I only move it massive amounts? And why can I move it in more than one direction? What is going on? I'm grabbing the axis. Something's up with these buildings. Or something's up with my trains. I don't know, one of the two. Those chickens are up to something. Yeah, see if I do... Alright, I hate this. I'm not using those buildings. Get those buildings out of here. I don't like them. Back to trolling through city buildings. Control Shift F. Why are you here? I should download more. I feel like I've used all the good ones. I mean, I can definitely reuse them, though. Some of them are plenty fine to reuse again. Like you. I don't know if I've used this one, but I'm using you as an example. Let's bring this up to here. Hello, my love.
Hello.
I have no more Yacht Club sodas.
Damn.
In fact, I've been out for a while.
Yeah.
What am I moving? Oh, that building. Could I have some water, please, though? That would be appreciated. Okay, we've got another thing. We've got Tree City. Pretty sure that's where the Ewoks live. Okay. Just gonna grab some buildings and place them along this road and not think too hard about it. That's the plan. We'll put the mall somewhere else. The thing that was supposed to solve my problems, the mall, has only created more problems. Doesn't this sound familiar? And I'm looking, we're scrolling past the, oh my god. Hey, Northern, you were excited about a city block. How about a whole thing? Anyway, No, I need more city buildings. Honestly, I just need to go find more. My pocket downtown. Yeah, when you're over there designing your mega cities for your everything, I hope the scale reaches you appropriately because it's reaching me. Um, so much to do. What the heck is this? I'm ready to go download some city buildings. You're coming with me. BGR city building. What are you? I don't know if I want to. Okay, all right, yeah, we're moving on from those. That's not the vibe I'm looking for. That's very cool though. Oh, these are the vibe I'm looking for. BS city building. Oh yeah, we're building BS all right. Um, oh, here are the other diagonal road buildings. Let's try this one. That one seems like it might not suck. Some of these are like on stilts. I don't understand that. Whoops. Okay, I downloaded that one. I guess. Building city Alicante. Alicante City, if that's how that's pronounced. Uh, you should get one of those obnoxious giant concrete DOT buildings like we have in Providence and Boston. I'm not sure I know what you mean. Honest to goodness, I'm not sure I know what you mean. Carson City Barn. A McKean Motor Car House. I'm gonna download this. Um, City Building version 1. Oh, is this Dave Snow stuff? Oh, I gotta get the Dave Snow stuff. City Cat Landing. Is that the name of the city? Cat Landing? No, it's City Cat Depot. Um, hello? Hello, please work. I think because I'm downloading things, it refuses to send me things. Cat Landing. Cat Landing, there's your name of the town. But I really need to know what Cat Depot looks like. Oh, the city cats are fairies. Oh! Um, damn, I was hoping they were cats. Okay, I really wish it would show me the things that I want to see here so that I could know what the... Oh my god. Download you. Um, City Road, Tramway, Sculpture. Download some sculptures, because why not? Terminal Concourse Expansion. Union Bridge? That's cool. Cannon City? Or, well, I assume it's Colorado. That's Canyon City. These are a little not city enough for me, I think. Yeah, they're definitely some... Yeah, in Central... Okay, alright. CO71, all this stuff. Very cool. Not what I need. Um, EMT Cityscape Building. Euro Modeler. These might be useful later, but they are too fancy for right now. Because the interesting thing is, once you get towards the modern era, right? The KCS Bridges by Ben Dorsey. Once you get towards the modern era, um, I feel like your skyscrapers from pretty much all over the world, except for the iconic ones, you can kind of drop them in wherever. You know, they're pretty locale independent, right? Um, but before that, your building vibes are very much locale dependent. This is cool. Triangular shaped building. Maybe we need more things with triangles. Tomb City House. Yeah, the tomb stuff is always kind of a win. That's a lot of stuff. Holy cow, look at all that stuff. Alright, we're going to download a lot of stuff. Alright, well that's all we're downloading for right now. I need to give that a second to download all 100 of those items. Oh, it just keeps going up. I remember the days. I remember the days where I did not have a first class ticket. In fact, I never had a first class ticket. I never paid for a first class ticket until I got Trainz Plus, which has a first class ticket bundled with it. I could be patient, and I was patient. I was perfectly fine to let things download all night for whatever I needed to do. And now, oh my god, how would I live without this? This is the modern convenience that that you know that we've come to expect. I probably really need to wait until all these download before I try to touch it again. Um, so should I break out not Tetris a second time? Should I give it another shot? We're already most of the way through it. But I hope everyone's having a good Thursday. I hope the weather is nice up in Maine over the weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to steam chooches and narrow rails. And then I get to come back on Saturday night. And I'm driving up on Friday. It's going to be miserable. But what am I going to do? It's just not going to work out like that. So I'll have to do $4.95 on a Friday night. Hopefully, because this is like a lull, we're in the holidays, sure, but we're in a lull. We're post Thanksgiving. We're way outside of tourist season. We're outside of leaf peeper season. Hopefully, I don't get stuck in that much traffic. I definitely am going to get stuck in a lot of traffic, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so what were the things that I literally just downloaded and where can I find them? Okay, the Tomb City houses, which, oh no, I maybe should have considered that we were getting a lot of the same. Yeah, these are all reskins of the same asset. Uh-oh. That's okay. The city's like that. You want to meet me in Newburyport and go to Grog? Honestly, not a bad idea. Get pizza and then get pizza again. The question is, like, we're going to have to play timing by ear a little bit, I think. Especially because I've got to work that day. And you've got to work that day. And then I'm going to be leaving here and you're already going to be going north. So maybe you just go to Grog. And you wait for me. I'll never complain. Like, pub food is usually pretty fine. Okay. Alright, we got some other city. We got some tomb things. It's funny because we were doing a funeral home earlier, and now we're doing tomb things. Get it? Tomb. Okay. See, this would go great on a corner. Oh, there's a corner over there. Let's put it on that corner. You know, it'd be kind of funny to put this and an identical building on opposite corners so that the parts that are sticking out are like almost touching. Yeah, right over the street, because why not? I always get a little nervous walking into those second, third story bay windows. Yeah, it really does look like it's going to come down on you. Hope this has been inspected lately. Oh, it was kind of fun, when Gloria and I went to New York City, they've got all those, this doesn't have a door on it. They've got all those, the scaffolding up that covers all the sidewalks because New York is very stringent about its masonry inspections, or rather, New York building owners are not interested in paying the cost to do them, so they just they put up the things. There's one on the West End where you can always see the dude in there watching TV. What's he watching? Go out there on a nice night, set up a chair so you can watch TV with him from the street. Oh, you can't see the TV? Aww. Say, please move the television closer to the thing so that I can see it from down here. Well, how do you know he's watching TV then? How do you know he isn't just sort of watching like flickering lights? Could be anything, honestly. Okay. Um, multi-use building 5 topper? As in, does it want me to put this on top of a building? So like I put Higbee's down, right? Put Higbee's down to 20.5, and then I grab this, I set it to 220.5, and then I raise this up, and then he's watching a security feed of the street. Yeah, it's actually you're watching him, he's watching you. It wraps all the way back around. Okay, so this is a really neat concept. The issue is lining it up right. You know what? That's fine. That's fine. If you don't know that it's supposed, if you don't know it's a little crooked, it looks perfectly fine. Um, okay, city buildings. Where's all the stuff that I just downloaded? Seriously, is this what I downloaded? Uh, watching only the underside of the cutout. It's bait actually. He's watching to see who stops and like looks and sees that he's watching. Bait used to be believable. There's another one on Wicked Street with a photorealistic cat pillow in the window. That's awesome. There was a house over here that had a cat that always chilled in the window. And whenever, during the era where Gloria worked a lot of later shifts, and I would walk down to, pick them up, quote unquote, I would walk down and then we'd walk home together. There was a place with a cat in the window, and every day it would be sort of a like, ooh, is the cat gonna be there? Aw, or yay, you know. Um, I need to start doing that more often. But oh my goodness, look at this building. This is a great building for this spot. Um, but Gloria has not been working a lot of late shifts, and I've been taking Lafayette for walks earlier in the afternoon because I'll be damned, it's cold out. All right, I don't know how to make this line up super well. I actually might put in like a 2 foot wide alleyway. Yeah, one of those. One of those you think you can walk through but only sideways. The cat on the first floor who has crazy eyes when they see you. Orange cat mob over near the pizza place. We've got Fred and all the others. Lafayette was freaking out about presumably a cat the other night, but we could not see what he was barking at. Biblically accurate Gotham alley. Yeah, no, this is you have to turn sideways to get through, and then your parents get shot. Okay, this can go right here. Norma's. Can I raise this a little bit? Should I raise it a little bit? No, because we're on a bit of a slope here. I think I need to double check that. Yeah, we are on a bit of a slope here. Okay. Okay. So this should be lowered maybe just a tad so that the sidewalk doesn't stick out. Yeah, there we go. Otherwise, it is fine. Okay. So we've got this building. I want to pair this building up with something else, although I should probably set this one back from the street a little ways. Because it has those garages, so maybe there would be a pedestrian area in front of it, or like a driveway, really, in front of it. I'm sorry if I make everyone dizzy by constantly spinning around. I'm always thinking I can get a slightly better angle on what I'm looking at, but when we're doing the cityscape stuff, there really isn't much of a better angle, which is the problem. 165.7. You know what's amazing? If I had half of this, if I had put half of this amount of effort into the Iron Horseman route, God, that thing would have been so beautiful. but instead we get like the sort of nudge towards a city, you know, suggestion of a city. It's still better than pretty much anything I built that came before it, but it's not a time lapse, so spin away. Oh god. Well, you could watch it on 2 times speed. Uh, Also, what's up, Kevin? It's been a little bit. Okay. Let's see. We're definitely gonna want to put some pavers through there. Honestly, if I'm spinning in a time lapse, I think the only thing that I'm allowed to do is add like a Darude Sandstorm backing track. Um, okay, there we go. Click. Nope. Click. I'm gonna have to scoot that one out a little ways. Nope. Clear that up. Where is it? You. Yeah. Alright. Nope, wrong way. Did the wrong way, as always. And then we should do this intersection in here if we're in here doing intersections. And that, and that. Click, click, click. And we do have some terrain discrepancies, so hopefully it doesn't end up too weird looking. It does end up a little weird looking, but the goal is to have a little bit of terrain variation anyhow. You know, no city is completely flat outside of Kansas and Florida. So, you know, I was aiming, that's how we ended up with that road buried over here. I've been aiming to put in a little bit of terrain variation, and honestly, I need to go further with it. But apparently over here I just made kind of a lump. Oh, excuse me. Okay, back to city stuff. Back to city buildings. BS city building. Oh yeah, that's what we found. We found some BS city buildings. This one at least has a door. It's not that BS, after all. We have, and there are, I shall extend the statement to say, too many buildings in this game without doors. Or where the only entryway is blocked by bricks or something. Uh, yeah, terrain variation in the cities is hard, and yeah, I agree. It's definitely easier to do it pre-street planning. Uh, but if you think about it, a lot of the time the street grid in a city will kind of extend pretty irrespective of what the ground underneath it is doing, as long as it's not too crazy. And that's where things get difficult. Um, because yeah, old Union Station was done terrain first, and a lot of stuff like I would recommend doing terrain first. This isn't me. This isn't me saying that that isn't the way to do it, because that's always the way to do it in my opinion. Um, but I did some subtle terrain adjustment around here that I have forgotten what I did, and honestly, I think that's a good thing. Um, City blocks through maze they drove manuals on. Yeah, I mean that's it's kind of bonkers. You can look in a lot of different places in a lot of different cities and see, you know, again, the street grid sort of doing whatever the hell it wants. Doesn't matter if it's going up a hill, down a hill. We've got that plenty in Providence. That's how we ended up with a cable car, albeit briefly. Um, and you have it pretty much anywhere else you look that has hills. Um, okay. Oh, this doesn't quite line up with this. That would have been kind of perfect. This is maybe a park. This should be a park. This is actually screaming to me Roger Williams National Memorial. Um, and I don't know why when I zoomed out and saw that rectangle with nothing in it, uh, it just, you know, my brain turned on. You know, I miss so much about I miss so much about Geiger. I miss so much about that damn map. The big main line on the wall, everything we built, all the downtown and everything, like everyone did amazing work for the MPS route. But it was never going to last because one, Trainz routes never do, and uh, B, because we were the beta testers and we broke everything, and that's sort of just what we did. Um, I have not been following how they've iterated on MPS. I assume it's improved. Um, but I bet you if we went back to it, maybe we could make something. Yeah, the ripped bus voice. I heard it too. Okay. First time in a while I've ridden the bus yesterday. Had to go drop off the car at Tony's, and had a perfectly fine time. I mean, of course, I had to wait for a million years for the 56 bus, but that's what you always do. Um, and also realized I was the last person on the bus at the stop over here. Uh, had the moment of yes, drive the beast for me. I wish I could give a tour of the MPS route. I wish I had screenshots of what my terminal trackage looked like before it got nuked. And I'm so sad about that. That's the thing that I miss the most. And obviously I miss it the most because it was my baby. But I also miss it the most because I feel like that was a real exercise in problem solving. And if you lined me up, if you said, well, here's the same circumstances, do it again, I would never come up with the same thing, and I don't think it would be as good. Uh, I I would create a lesser product. Another reason why I'm constantly saving and backing up the route because, if I lose a little bit of work, that's fine. I can redo it, but I'll never redo it the same. Okay. We need to figure out what is going over here, I guess. I think this is going to be parking lot. And yeah, this is going to be park. It's at the other end of the way from the school. I mean, why not? We're going to have a couple of rectangular parks. I mean, I honestly think that all things considered, we're kind of short on like sanctioned green space. There's plenty of space that is green, um, but very few like actual parks. And I've been hesitant because I feel like that's the that's the Trainz mentality, right? I don't know what to put here. Bam, put a park there. Done. But I don't want to fall into that hole. So we've got we've got a couple of we've a couple of open spaces, but every time I've wanted to put a park, my brain is going like, you can't just throw a park there. Come up with something better. But sometimes you just need a park. Um, Instead, we just have endless suburbia over here. Okay, so I can't believe it's only like 8:20. It's because I got started on time, right? It's because I got started on time for once. Now it feels like forever. But no one ever tells you that forever feels like home. I think that's the line, right? Um, and even then, I'm not going to let this whole block be park. Um, there's a square at every other intersection in Providence. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we do have, like, this, you know? Some green space, sort of. But that's not really a park. Actually, the one that I do have... Oh, I'm lost in my own city again. The one that I do have is this one. With this baseball diamond. But I want to put a big one down there. And then maybe we can put... I mean, we have some green space in South Bellington here. We've got this area. We've got that. We've got the big park that I'm going to build over there. But, yeah, we don't have much in Bellington proper. And I think that's because Bellington proper sort of sprang up out of nowhere. Didn't have time to codify a lot of the green space. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Huh. Why am I yawning? It's only 8:20. I need to stop with that. Um. Yeah. Okay. We'll do this, and we'll just put walls around this park. Or you know what? No, we won't put walls around the park. We'll leave it just open green space on all the sides. Just this side is going to have a wall to separate it from these commercial buildings on this stretch here. And because we're doing trees in a second pass, it means I'm just going to paint the screen and call it good so that I don't get tempted to put in something else here. The endless suburbia is accurate. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I strive for nothing if not accuracy. That's why I've got so many strip malls. Apparently. Apparently it's accurate. We just need some Piggly Wiggly. Okay. We've got that. That's like a Burnside Park or whatever. Um, we need this gravel, the seasonal gravel, to come in here, I think. And then I want to do grass around it. If I can paint these, that would be good. I think Railroader has made me Railroader and the catastrophe, the current catastrophe that is Living Railroad.
I just want my dad's birthday present.
Okay, cool. I don't I don't know why I needed to be told that so urgently. I'm confused and maybe a little scared. Um, okay. Okay, so now I get it. Gloria told me that's their dad's birthday present, but it's actually mine. Wait, no. Wait, birthday present? Did they mean Christmas gift? I don't know when their dad's birthday is. Um, I don't know. It's not my dad. Well, I guess he technically is now. I'm not gonna worry about that. Um, it's okay. I barely remember my own birthday, and it would be cool if nobody else did either, because then no one would sing to me at Applebee's. Okay. Um, that's very green. We need to do something about that. We need to put some pavement in over there, I think, because they don't just fill all the spaces between apartment buildings with grass and call it good. In fact, it's usually not that. Usually quite the opposite. All right. We will add an entrance to said parking lot here. And let's see. Yeah, we got it right. I used my big smart brain to figure out what side it was going to be on. I calculated that. It's like I'm back in Rocket League. Okay, in between these buildings, we'll use this texture here. We've also got this incredibly dismal city park sort of situation. But that's probably like a school. Like a private school or Catholic school or something like that. They've got their own playground. Yeah, really the thing that helps a lot is just shaking up the textures. It doesn't even necessarily have to be super well thought out, but if your city, if it's clear what the base texture is underneath all your buildings, then it starts to look samey. It starts to look like you just dropped a bunch of buildings on a carpet. You don't want your city to look like that. Something else that we could do here is we could vary the types of grass. Sorry. And also, there's some crud on my desk. I don't know where it came from. Falling off the ceiling or something? Um, paint chips falling off the ceiling? No. Yeah, we could vary the grass that appears in these different blocks, which could sort of help the realism a little bit. Um, and I'll add another parking lot over here. This one I'm not going to put an entrance to because it's on a curve and that would be very annoying. But you know, you're not going to let this space get away. And maybe that's the philosophy that has led me to uh, dramatically reduce the amount of green space that we should have. Uh, but you know, especially in a densified area like this, you're going to squeeze in a lot of parking. You're going to squeeze in pedestrian access. You're going to have just like dirt. You know, lawns don't tend to grow well when they're in the shadow of a building all the time. So there's that. Okay. I don't really know what to put in this park. Something that something that I should put in this park actually. We need to have a zoo somewhere. Can we get a carousel? Oh, we can't get a carousel. Look at that. I like how it spins. It makes me think that it spins. It does not. We've got two, and they're basically the same in terms of poly count and detail and, like, shading and stuff. Which is to say, not much shading. But, yeah, this area is living up for me. And when I look at it from above, and the spot that I was just doing doesn't totally stick out, um, that means I think we're doing fairly well. Oh, a carnival would be fun. I want to do an amusement park somewhere, for sure. I think I even threw one into the ideas doc for somewhere. Let me go look at the ideas. Where are my ideas doc? I might have called it a theme park. No. Amusement park, formerly trolley park in Cobra, next to the military base. Okay, yeah, I knew it was going to be out there somewhere. Did I write down zoo anywhere? No. Um, zoo. Navy Yard or on Meridian Isle. Yeah, okay. I'm looking through everything. Um, I took my car to the mechanics to fix a terrible noise it was making. It took out the Mariah Carey Christmas CD. Also, yeah, like everyone's names have reverted. I don't understand like why I can see everyone's ats. Um, I actually listened to All I Want for Christmas Is You today voluntarily, but it was the brand new postmodern jukebox version, which was really cool. I liked it. Um, but yeah, of course, my All I Want for Christmas Is You, uh, you know, my streak ended before it began because it happened while I was on honeymoon in the wax museum. Okay. Let's see. Let's put some gravel on the corner, maybe. That might look all right. Yeah, why not? Sometimes it feels like there was a building here before, and that's not what I'm aiming for. Yeah, I heard it's like a few million a year off of just that song, which makes sense. And honestly, if it wasn't hideously overplayed, I don't really think anyone would hate it. It's not a bad song. It's one of those things that's become meme more than anything else. I think it's just totally it's it's reached beyond uh, it's reached beyond like any sensibility on the quality of the thing. Sort of like Never Gonna Give You Up. You know, I honestly think Never Gonna Give You Up, if it didn't inspire such an immediate and visceral reaction in me, like it's a good song. I don't have a problem with it. But the moment I see that foot, that shoe, I'm like, oh man, I got. I clicked the link and I didn't check what it was beforehand. Now I get to hear the beginning of this song again. Uh, but like without that, I mean, would I be listening to it on the regular? Yeah, probably not. But I think, obviously I wouldn't have a reaction if it came on. Uh, I just made the same mistake twice. Come on, this side, this side. This does sort of look like it could be a theater if it was not labeled Union Station. And if I could come up with an Alison Krauss Union Station song right now, I would, you know, say a line of it or two. But the only one I can think of is starts with "Forget About It," and that's not a unique enough line that people who know, I don't know who listens to Alison Krauss. I'll just lay that out. I mean, I know I do sometimes. I know my mom does, but I don't know anybody else who does. It's kind of the thing where I feel like a lot more people know. Yeah, I feel like a lot more people know the artist than sort of like acknowledge that they know the artist, not because they're hiding their knowledge of it or anything, not like it's a guilty pleasure or something, but because it's not like she's not quite noteworthy enough for people to bring her up in conversation. Like I saw a reference to Alison Krauss in something. I can't remember what the hell it was. Might have been a TV show, and I was just like, "Oh, that's a really interesting, like, that's not a reference that I expected." It was just like she was playing at the local theater or whatever, or she was performing, uh, and her name was on the sign at the theater. Again, I don't remember in what context I saw this, but I remember thinking like, what an interesting choice to put up on the the board there for this. I wish I could remember what the hell it was. Was it? I wish I could. I wish I could remember. It'd be crazy if it was Barnyard. I don't think it was that though. I really don't think it was that. Um, but boy, it'd be crazy if it was. Although, I mean, I don't know when she was big. I don't know if she's bigger now than she was. Again, I'm saying this, and I'm certain that most people here are like, yeah, sure, whatever. Yeah, we always come full circle here. Um, Something I am apparently unreasonably good at, because I've had people call me out before and say like, I don't know how you remembered that little bit of the conversation earlier to jump back to. And honestly, I don't either, because I don't even remember anyone's names or apparently birthdays. Uh, you know, I know that like I've got a couple cousins who have a birthday this month, and that's it. So like, listen, anyone out there, if I forgot when your birthday is, I'm really sorry. It's not a you thing. It's me. It's all me. I'm so bad. Uh, I need to start putting this stuff in like my phone. I need to make use of the fact that I have a smartphone. I need to get off my Luddite behind and like put things in the calendar. I don't know why I'm so like averse to that. Averse? Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, yeah, I guess so. Um, but also, if you were to see no, because that wouldn't make any sense. There's a whole bunch of posts I'm seeing of like Spotify rap, but it's Zootopia or whatever, and it's just like a list of band names that are all animal puns. Please tell me I'm not the only one who has seen these memes. Please tell me, because like it's driving me crazy. I don't know. It's everywhere, and I keep seeing the same animal puns. Um, okay, this. I'm sorry, boss. Um, now let's do that there. I'm gonna have to go find one after this. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm intrigued. God damn it. All right, we're going on a field trip. Get in the bus. Miss Frizzle's here. We're going on a field trip. Yeah, there we go. Okay, okay. It's this. I don't know why. Like this movie is this movie is almost 10 years old. Why is this just like making the rounds now? I guess probably because there's another movie coming out. But like, um, Black Satan's Katy Perry. You. Oh God, Hyena Gomez. I don't. Again, I don't know, and I'm not even gonna go. I'm not even gonna try to find, like, I'm not even gonna try to find like Alison Krauss reference in movie because that would be only for me. That would only be for me. No one here would appreciate that, and you're right to not. Okay. See, this is what like I don't like. This is ridiculous for me to say when I'm doing this. I don't like parasocial relationships. I like social relationships. Uh, I like having a back and forth with people. I am I'm trying to look at everything that gets sent here and respond to it. Because I'm bored, and this is boring, and I really appreciate you all for just like hanging out and chatting with me. But because I want to chat, you know, and this is why like, oh, tell your friends about the stream. Yeah, no, seriously though, because it's boring when it's only it's only a couple people. We need to all be here. Need to be like, yo, foamy friends, come watch the stream. I have been wondering if I should start at least pinging at here when I go live in the Discord. I feel like maybe that's a thing that I should do, but I want to put it on a vote first. Um, because I know some people get really annoyed by pinging. I don't really get why, but I know some people do, and I know that it's my server, but we don't have bots because I'm anti-bot, and therefore we don't have like the hey, click here to be added to the role that gets pinged when Ellis goes live. Um, uh, okay, okay. Um, occasionally just talk, lore, and draw on my channel while doing Railroader. Okay, wait, at once? Wait, hold on. Uh, talk, lore, and draw in my channel while doing Railroader. I mean, we already knew you were multi-talented. You don't need to brag about it. Jeez. Okay, this I'm gonna cut the curb over here. Cut. Uh, straighten that back out, and straighten it out a second time. That one's not moving. It's not moving. Um, I cannot do much else while I'm also doing Railroader. Although I guess I did the first time, or like the first edition of the Terminus Live, I was able to play Railroader and also do that podcast, and also do the podcast, which it seemed to work out okay. Which, speaking of which, I'm I'm so like I'm really enjoying the new podcast format. Get the buy-in from everyone. Feel free to jump on and talk about your local whatever. The floor is open, and the more the merrier. Oh, the Waypoint mod. Oh yes, unlimited power. Uh, the Waypoint mod has made it so much easier. I agree. But also it makes it so much like I love to get other people into the Railroader save, and I need to go through and fiddle with my mod list a little bit. Now I don't want to because I gave it to somebody. I gave it to Mew, which proves that I can in fact transplant my mod list. Which means that if anyone wants to join me on the Appalachian Railway with my giant big compendium of mods, sound off. Maybe we can make that happen. But you know, it doesn't work in multiplayer. The AE, the mod, the Waypoint mod, the Waypoint queuing mod, does not work in multiplayer. So therefore, on the occasion where I do get to play with Mew, I'm trying to do things that I just straight up cannot do. Oh, I'll send it here, and then I'll send it here, and then I'll send it here. Ah, shoot, damn it. Why isn't Shift G opening the Waypoint window? Right, because it's disabled. Um. Oh, my neck. Hold on, stretch break. Everybody do a stretch break. Everyone, I know all of you have been sitting in your chairs for too long, so have I. Okay. Okay. It absolutely does decimate your workflow. It makes you work a lot slower. To then have the waypoint mod disabled. But on the bright side, you get to like have another human being, uh, you know, and that's not too bad, right? Like that's good. Having like a friend. It's almost like touching grass. Um, so there's something better than nothing. Um, okay. I keep looking down at the words posture check, and then I go, oh, gotta sit up. Gotta sit up. Can't do this. Oh man, I'm so hungry. I don't know what I should eat after this. I should eat something. I didn't really eat much yesterday because, as I've mentioned many times before, I do this intermittent fasting thing, which works sort of. I haven't checked my weight in a while though, so don't ask if it's been working lately. Um, and when I stop eating for the evening, then that sets my time for like when I can eat the following day. And if it gets too late in the evening, I just don't want to eat anything because I don't want to have to wait until like 4 p.m. the following day to eat something else. Are we gonna need a curb cut here? So last night it got to be like 10 o'clock, and I just went, no. You're like, no, I'm not eating anything else. I'm calling that glass of orange juice I had the last thing I ate, and I'm starting the timer then. And then I got to eat it like 11 o'clock instead of 2 in the afternoon. Um, so that was me. And then I finished my fast today, and I had a muffin. Yay, muffin. Press the muffin button. And then I had some like frozen meal crap. Uh, Buffalo Crunchers that come in a box. They're actually pretty good. Um, and then that was that. That was that. That was all I had. That was all I had before I started this. If I'm a little crazy, that's maybe why. Um, I'm a little crazy. We got the vibration or the earthquake going on. Okay. I want the edge of this building to be this kind of dirt and stone, rock and stone. Speaking of rock and stone, I have been potentially roped into, and by potentially roped into, I do mean fully invited, and I'm really excited about it. A D&D group with some other foamers. I am very much excited about it. I've been trying to build my character. I've been trying to figure all that out. I've never played D&D 5e. I've only ever played D&D once, and it was almost a decade ago. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, it was a decade ago. Um, let's just say the last time I played D&D, I was also actively producing the Iron Horseman Chronicles. Let's just put it that way. Um, Utica is still there, sadly. Really bad with food. I forget to eat. Yeah, no, me too. Me too. But it helps. Or you'd hope it would. Uh, but I've been trying to build my character right, and uh, I was looking into dwelfs, and apparently dwelf is the name for obviously a dwarf elf hybrid, but also any dwarf and humanoid hybrid is just generally called a dwelf. Uh, and the reason you don't see a lot of dwarf and whatever hybrids is because dwarf genes are canonically really, really strong. So, like, if you have, like, if it's anything half dwarf or above, it just grows up and it looks like a dwarf. Uh, so that was where I was at because I was like, okay, um, I want to do. My first thought was, what if I just do Vinny from Disney's Atlantis? What if I make that my character? Because it's supposed to be like a non-magical sort of setting-ish. Uh, and what if I'm the demolitions guy. Oh, look, I made a bridge. Let me, it took me what, 10 seconds. Because that would be really funny, and I would of course get to reuse sort of the Kurt voice. It's a character that I'm quite accustomed to because I too like when things explode, and also, am, uh, I'm Italian by blood, uh, and it all works out for me. But then I thought about it and I said, well, I don't want to be boring, right? I don't want to be boring. So what if I do make a dwarf after all? What if I make a half dwarf, half human? Where the human half is sort of Italian or whatever the D&D 5e, equivalent of Italian is. Dwarven father, uh, Italian mom, uh, absent father because when the kid didn't come out quite looking like a dwarf, he kind of took off, and the reason is because he himself was not fully dwarf, so this was like a revelation for him and also great shame, and so he was like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not dealing with this kid. I'm gonna pretend none of this ever happened, or else I might get disowned because it would uncover some things about my family, probably, right? Like if your family thinks you're full dwarf, which means they probably know who your parents are, but then your kid is less than 50% dwarf. I didn't ace biology, but there's something going on there. So maybe it turns out that your father isn't exactly who you thought he was. But point is, raised, this dwelf, this half human, half dwarf, raised by his mother, who just like traveled around, did odd jobs. Of course, dwarves have long lifespans compared to humans, so like this is, the dwarf is 113 years old because I had to. I know I did it to myself, but I had to. And his mother is dead. His father, God knows what happened to him. His siblings have all passed away of old age as well, and he was always taking care of his siblings. So now he's sort of listless, and he just gets on this train to go off to a new place and maybe start a new life, one where he can stake out some claim for himself, right? And that's my basic background for this guy. Um, he's a clanless dwarf, well, dwelf really, clanless dwelf who hasn't really ever been accepted by dwarves, has a chip on his shoulder against his own kind, on top of the chip on his shoulder that dwarves always have against everyone all the time. Um, and, he's just this, like, grouchy dude. I mean, he's got a heart of gold. He will immediately soften up around kids because he, helped raise his siblings, uh, and, well, half siblings. And, but that really does not come out. Uh, so I was working on all this, and I was trying to figure out my way through all the sheets and all the things that I need, and like, uh, all of the like equipment, and the math and just like my stat setup because dwelfs, because half human dwelfs are so rare, there isn't like a stat set for them. So I was trying to sort of come up with, okay, take some pluses that humans get plus some pluses that dwarfs get, and mix them together and call it good. Uh, which I'm not totally happy with what I came up with. I'm not totally happy with my character, but I figure because a lot of character building, especially your stats and stuff, can be RNG. Having some shortcomings is, that's life, right? I want a character that isn't going to get like ganked right away. Obviously, I want a character that doesn't suck because I don't want to have to make another one because it's taken me this long to figure it out. But I also don't want to come in there and be overpowered. On the flip side, maybe I do because I'm gonna be really bad at the game. So maybe I want somebody with outrageously good stats. The first time I rolled for my stats, I got incredible numbers, and I went, that doesn't seem that's like what I'm doing something wrong here, and I re-rolled and got way lower numbers. I don't think I was doing anything wrong though. I think I just got outrageously lucky. Um, And then I rolled again and I got something in the middle because I wasn't going with the crappy numbers either. I wasn't gonna have like a constitution of 4. Uh, Punnett Square is an asparagus tonight. Yeah, the moon is the rocks are in retrograde. Anyway, as I was figuring out everything that I should have with me, I realized that I had, created this massive compendium of stuff, and I'm realizing my introduction to these other characters is going to be me like dragging a chest full of tools onto a train. And we're gonna start the campaign, and I'm already going to be over encumbered, and I'm gonna have to like I made a special spot in my character sheet to like I'm gonna have to, as soon as we arrive to the destination where like the story is going to happen, uh, I am going to have to find a place to store all my junk. Uh, I literally, yeah, I made a spot on my character sheet for like stored items that are not contributing to the weight. I'm gonna pack everything into the chest, and I'm gonna like, leave it with the station master or something. Something that would be feasible. The kind of thing that I do when I'm on vacation and I'm at the train station for a few hours and I want to go down the street. And I go, here you go, a nice Amtrak lady. Please watch this suitcase for a few hours. Here's $20. Um, which that is a thing that they'll do in a lot of Amtrak stations. This isn't me just like, please help me. Please help me and look after this. This is my son. Sir, that is a suitcase with eyes glued to it. No, that's my son. I need you to watch him. Make sure he doesn't roll away. Oh, wrong way. I didn't use my hyper-intelligent brain. Okay. You... Okay. Yeah, so, we will figure out... I gotta figure that out. Please, my son, he's very muggable. That's great. That's good. I like that. Um, he's just a robbery magnet. I tell you, you gotta watch him. Um, Unbeknownst to the Amtrak lady, my son literally just killed John Wick's dog, and now he's coming. Okay. Um, I think we could use a gazebo over here. I love me some gazebos. Let me actually jump into Surveyor 2. Let me grab Pavement Slab 7.2. You should glue some googly eyes to your duffel bag. I agree. I think everyone should do that. That would be fantastic. Uh, you need to... You need to make sure that when that thing's on the baggage carousel, you know it's yours. Okay. Yeah, what to put in this corner? I could do a little park and a gazebo. Yeah, I mean this is pedestrian space, so why not? I need to let my desire for parks take me. All right. Let's do this here. Again, I've just been so nervous about doing parks because if I open those floodgates, I'm going to do too many parks. Um, if everyone glues eyes to their... Well, that's why you do different eyes. You know, you need... Hold on. Am I still like the... No, okay. Let me Google something. Googly eyes with colored pupils. Yeah, okay, we can get different color googly eyes up in here. Yeah, alright. Yeah, no, everyone needs to pick a color. Uh, Everyone pick a color. Or a pattern. You also don't have to have two. You know? You can have you can have like 35. 35 googly eyes scattered all over. Hold on, I gotta show you guys an old meme. Hold on, let me find it first. Oh god. I see. I don't know if I'll be able to find it. It was such an obscure thing. Uh. Oh god damn it. It was. No, I can't. I can't find it, and I'm not going any deeper looking for it because I'm already getting like ridiculous, terrifying AI slop. Uh, dibs on black. I call the bloodshot googly eyes. What's up, Chris? Uh, okay. So, yeah, Dean, you're gonna the monkey's paw curls, and you get eyes that are completely black. Uh, no, okay. So, what is this? Look at this. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Uh, the meme in question was a girl, and her entire face was covered in googly eyes, and the caption was, "The first thing you should notice about a girl is her eyes." That is all. Imagine going to the terminal looking for your lost bag. The main descriptor is it has googly eyes and looks like an idiot. Well, I don't know. I don't know. Listen, like your bag might look like an idiot. Mine looks like a distinguished gentleman with googly eyes. I'm gonna put a top hat on it too. Um, and one of those fake mustaches you can buy at the dollar store. Okay. Um, sir, is your lost puppy? Is he the one with no brain? That's me, IRL. Okay. Okay. Uh, which one is your suitcase? Oh yeah, it's the one that looks like the girl from The Ring. It's got just black hair down the whole thing. Also, look at this. Look at. I would like to direct everyone's attention, for a moment, to. Are we still in this? Yeah. I would like to direct everyone's attention for a moment. We're gonna have the cat break. He's over there. He's in a little like blanket fort. That blue blanket is like his favorite thing in the world. Venkman, hey, you being good? Cleaning yourself? That's his blanket, I guess. He's taking ownership of it. Okay. Need a building for this corner here, I think. No, just kidding. This is gonna be parking lot. Damn, it's already 9 o'clock. And I say that meaning like it's only 9 o'clock, really, because I kinda. I think we've been making a lot of good progress. And this has been a great. What's up, Orion? This has been a great week back after a week off. Speaking of which, I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I know we did a podcast after that, which meant I got to speak to the people anyhow. But no, this is the premiere show where I actually talk to everyone in the audience. The podcast, it's difficult to juggle the news article stuff and the um, and the stream chat at the same time, among all the other stuff. Uh, the people that are calling in when we get people that call in. Um, it's a lot to handle. It's been interesting trying to like develop a workflow for it, and I've definitely gotten better. Okay, but it has taken time. This I'm just gonna do I think brown underneath here because this is pretty damn compact in the middle, and I don't think grass is gonna be doing much. I just need to make sure that I get rid of all the grid underneath. That is the biggest thing. We need to make sure that we're not leaving grid in any of these blocks. No, it seems like we're doing an okay job. I'm once again going to add a gravel alley in between, or maybe I can do cobblestones. Why not? Um, Honestly, this cobblestone stuff looks very haphazard. Is what it is. Oh god, people are coughing. The illness, the illness is everywhere. It has returned somehow. Cold and flu season returned. It does every year. I pulled Enterprise CV6 on World of Warships. I was busy sucking at playing CV. I One of the only things that has made me go, oh, I should try World of Warships is playing as the idea of playing as a carrier. It seems like fun. Like I like being support roles, you know. Uh, when I play Battlefield, I'm like always medic. It doesn't hurt that in BF1, which is the best Battlefield, you've got the like most for the most part like the regular repeating rifles. Well, not regular because regular in that case would not be a repeating rifle, but the repeating rifles are medic class weapons, and those always fit. Those always suited me very well. But I also like playing support because, yeah, I guess it's support, right? Whoever gets ammo boxes, I haven't played in a very long time because I have it on Xbox and I have not paid for Xbox Live in a very long time. It's also one of those things where now that I haven't played for a long time and now that the game is 10 years old or whatever, the only people left playing are the really good people. And so I will get obliterated if I try to play. Um, but I still would like to. If I had the money to throw in an Xbox Live subscription for a little while, I probably would. But I can only do like one game at a time. Right now, my game is mostly Railroader, uh, and this, of course. But this doesn't count. This is not a game. Simulator. Difference. I've talked about this before. Okay. Let's see. Can I get 2 rows of parking in here? Do you think? No, not really. You really cannot get in from that side. What if instead of making 2 rows of parking, I make sort of one long row of parking? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, whatever. We'll call that. Oh, wait. No, you know what? It's valet parking. Valet parking, they do this crap. You ever seen the valet parking where they park cars like 3 deep? It's really kind of impressive and also strikes me as really annoying. Um, and also, one of the reasons where I don't think I can bring myself to use valet parking for my cars ever. Uh, Not because I'm worried about them breaking the car. I'm worried about the car breaking on them. Uh, 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 I need like a gatehouse. But without the gate. I need a gatehouse without the gate. Gatekeeper's house. Literally not even close. Okay, parking. No. Oh, okay, we've got some cool parking lot lights. So there's that. Um, you know what? Let's go with that. Let's go with the this. Um, couldn't figure out my incredibly simple key fob. I saw a picture for a valet place that did not take standards, only automatics, which is like damn. Uh, I know people who had to learn standards so that they could park cars. They had to learn a manual transmission so they could park cars. Um, okay, let's do that, and let's actually scoot this opening back to here. My phone keeps going off, and I'm pretty sure it's not Discord, because Discord's right in front of me, and I don't ever get text messages unless something's going on. So, per me. What do you mean, per me? That means it's something I specified. Per means I specified it. It's not per me. I didn't ask for that. You guys could have done that. Here's a text I just received. Hey y'all, I made this group chat for What Elephant, parentheses, Yankee Swap. The max price for gifts is $25. Please no alcohol or smoking paraphernalia per Ellis. Everyone just bring one wrapped or bagged gift without a name on it. Does December 27th work for everyone? So, That's not what per means. I wasn't asked. I didn't say no smoking paraphernalia. I think it'd be incredibly funny if I opened smoking paraphernalia. Actually, um, what would be really funny, the callback. One of the first Yankee swaps I ever did was for the for Waterfire, which is a local arts thing here. And I opened at my precocious 13 years of age. I opened a 6 pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. Um, How about you leaving? All right, just know that the group text is wrong. I did not request no smoking paraphernalia or no alcohol. It wasn't per me. Gloria decided that.
I just put that on there, so
Yeah, but that's not what that means. You said no alcohol or smoking paraphernalia per me, which would mean I specified it.
oh, we meant like because you don't partake
Yeah.
in those.
Well, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying. I don't want it to sound like I'm cramping everyone's style. I was just telling the viewers that one of the first Yankee Swap gifts I ever opened as a 13-year-old at a Waterfire Yankee Swap was a 6 pack of Pabst Blue Ribbon. So I mean, I'm happy for all the gifts to be for me, but in the future you don't really have to worry about that. How funny would it be? I'm gonna get a bong. I'm gonna unwrap a bong in the
And
Yankee
then I'll
Swap.
steal it from you.
No, and then I'm gonna like put it up on a shelf somewhere. This is.
In case it
I'm gonna.
doesn't.
I'll get to show. I'll get to say to my mom, "Look, here's a here's my bong." Uh,
She would freak
it
out.
was super memory loss.
Alright, well.
Um, she would freak out, and then I'd be like, "Don't worry, it's never been used." Oh, here's this building. I just used this building somewhere else. I can't believe I decided to use this building twice. This building is garbage. Gianna is going to die. Oh my god, I didn't realize I had this.
I'm sorry, yeah, you were like probably just got thrown into the group chat and then
Well, I was sitting here and I said, my phone is exploding. And I know it's not Discord because Discord is in front of me. So what is going on? And I could only assume catastrophe. My phone doesn't usually start going off like that unless there's stuff going down. Oh wow, look at this. This is I gotta put the cemetery next to this. Um the round. Yeah, no, it's the best freight house. Um Where's the BS City stuff? It's all the way up here. Do you think I have enough stuff downloaded? I don't. I got all the malls. I'm trying to build a mall. Or I was trying to build a mall earlier. Okay, these are all Italian. They're actually really cool. This is really nice. Let's put this over here instead of the 6 polygon building. The very speculatively, I may be living in front of a future railfan park in my town. Nice. Okay. Anywhere could be a railfan park if you live there and you invite railfans onto your property. Technically, my house is a railfan park. There's nothing to see here, but you know, every year for the Big E, it's sort of what it becomes. Okay, maybe we rotate this like this. I was about to say this looks like a bank, and then I read the front where it says it's the bank. Okay, these are Spanish buildings, not Italian. Good to know. We're gonna have a little Spain. We're gonna have an ethnic part of town, part of the city. Instead of Little Italy, we have Little Spain. It actually, they're right next to Little Italy, and every year they have a cook-off, and it's literally the best week of like the entire city's existence annually. Remember when they said taco trucks in every corner? Not until you've gotten a full terabyte of Trainz content. Little spittily, little spadily. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. What do I put here? This is a humongous building. This is like a post office building, right? I know it. No, I used this as a post office in the MPS route, I think. Oh shoot, did I use the same building twice? On opposite ends of the block, of course. How did I manage that? Okay, well, um, BS police station. You're right about that. Okay. Whoa, whoa! Look at this building. Absolutely no use for anything like this on this entire map. However, gorgeous. Um, ooh, my voice is starting to go. I can feel it. Architect resubmitted it twice. Hope no one will notice. Listen, we're cribbing from our own work here. I don't. What reaction am I supposed to have to that? Okay. Let's put this here. I think we also use this building like right over there, like very nearby.
So it's not a science match.
No,
No.
is that what Google's telling you?
No, because Gianna, who's had sinus infection many times in her life, has told me that it's not a sinus infection.
Okay, so you're just miserable.
Yeah. Also, from blowing my nose so much, my head hurts on my ear.
I could believe it. One of these days, you're gonna blow your head so hard, you blow your nose so hard, your skull is just gonna like, you know.
Why would you say that?
Oh, because obviously, I think it's going to happen. It's gonna be like deflating a balloon. Oh, look at this. Oh, it has no. Oh, it's hovering. Okay. Um.
No.
What?
From the cruise, from the guy with
Oh. Okay. This is not a chicken tender. Okay. This is. Bwah, 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 bwah,
those are the two horns on the front of the thing made me think
bwah. I didn't even. Apparently, I had it on the screen long enough for you to notice the horns. I didn't even notice they were horns. Okay, this is also not perpendicular. It is, actually. Well, because I should be throwing down rulers and measuring everything, but I do not want to because they look like hell. Uh, and then I just did my big ruler cleanup a couple of months ago. Um, and now there are no giant floating. Don't look over there. There are no giant floating numbers. Oh, jeez. Mother of mercy, is this the end of Rico? Oh, man. You know what I could put over here? That would be kind of funny. Yeah, hold on. I'm going to jump into Surveyor 2. I'm going to do one more thing, and then I think we're going to wrap it up because I'm going to run out of... Oh, I'm going to run out of voice. I'm also, like, slightly sick, maybe. It might just be the weather, but I might be slightly sick. What did I just grab back there? I think I grabbed a piece of fence or something. No? Alright, we gotta fly across town. Take a left. Yeah, they're row houses. I'm gonna squeeze some in right here. I'm gonna put a block of row houses in between this building. Whoa. What the heck? In between this building and this building.
Is that a factory or is that more apartments?
I honestly don't know. It doesn't say. You can't tell what it says. It could be a business. It could be a lot of things, really. Um, so, I'm leaving it to the viewer's imagination. I think so. For an Xmas party? Yeah. We're not what?
I was gonna say it's not like a party party, but
Well, if we're hosting people, I hope we have at least like food and junk.
yeah,
That's party enough for me.
we'll get together.
Yeah, that's all I really want from a party. Food. Yeah, I mean that's the only reason I go to the office when they have free food. He's good. Venkman's in his fort, blanket fort. I showed them Venkman earlier. Okay. We get a block of row houses in on this street. Honestly, that doesn't look too bad. We definitely have some very large and very small buildings in this block. And then yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to do with this area here. I think I might open it up to make more parking for the train station. Um, because we kind of need more like there's not a lot of room here for this train station. And given the era, it's entirely possible that they planned ahead and put in space for more parking. Um, I could also put in a bigger building instead of this one, but I'm kind of married to this being here now, so yeah, it's going to be what it's going to be. Some of these I'm kind of excited to switch out. Like this is a fun little area, I think. Definitely a humongous pain, but that is what it is. You've got these over here. Yeah, there's plenty of switching around here that is going to be a pain in the neck. I'm not sure if we need to add more in this direction, but again, I have been tempted to throw in a little industrial district down here, maybe with a factory or three down here on the other side of the road, or past here. I I just get this urge, right? Like every stub end track needs to have a business on it. Uh, but part of me is also thinking like I could just have this track sort of peel off into here and just end. Like, oh, we put that there in case we were going to build something there later. Right now it just works as like a yard lead, but yeah. I'm also kind of looking forward to messing around with the yard tracks that we have here. If and when I ever play with trains on this map. Probably never. But you can download this in the Discord. If you're listening to this and you have no idea who I am, thanks for making it to the end. There are links to all the important stuff in the description, to our line of steam locomotive trading cards, to our Discord, to our website, and I think I will wrap it up here. Next week we will probably continue doing the same thing we were doing this week, although I would like to see about breaking this up and copy and pasting it to fill in some area. We shall see. What's up?
What's with the giant bee?
Gloria's hand is up. The giant B is for Bellington, which is the town.
Mark off what
Yeah.
the area is? Okay.
When I originally marked this off, I wrote the B for Bellington up here and the S for South Bellington down there. And occasionally I've marked off some other stuff, like this U is for I'm going to put a university campus here. This W or M, I have no idea. I don't know what I put. I don't know why this is here. I don't know.
You should have underlined it so you knew what it was.
I don't think that would have helped. I don't know. I don't know what M would have been, and I don't know what W would have been.
Mall?
Maybe.
Space?
I mean, I was gonna put down a mall, so
Yeah, if you put a line under it, you would have known if it was a W or an M.
yeah, and that would have been smart. I'm just not sure if it would have helped. And then there's this, which means something. And then there's park question mark. The one time I thought to write out an entire word. At least I know what that means. But that's what the B and the S stand for, and if you were to peel back the layers of ground paint, there would probably be a bunch of other letters underneath here too. Because that's how we roll. You can see that you can't really see it with the buildings and everything, but if you zoom out, You can see that there's this blue strip here. That was me marking out where this commercial strip was going to be before I built it. Welcome back, Kevin. You're here in time for the end of the world because my voice is failing me and I need to find something to eat. So, thank you for coming along on my download and meming and city building adventures today. I hopefully will see you all and everyone else, bring your friends, next week. This is the Admiral, signing off. Also, I learned you can make a hotkey to stop streaming. I